Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? We back again, man. Back again. Another day, another dollar, as they say. Another day, another stream. Another day. More progress, more spiritual progress, man. More gaining emotional strength and mental clarity. Day 13, day 13, day 13, man. 13 days in, 37 days to go, man. We're still going up the mountain, but this day is almost over. Day 14 coming up. Day 14. That's gonna be 2 freaking weeks. It's insane, man. When I think about this shit, it's like I'm really a bit insane, a bit crazy. But the crazy people are the ones who make the biggest difference in the world, right? The crazy people are the ones who accomplish their goals, accomplish their dreams, live their dreams, right? Make all of the changes in the world, man. So I'd rather be crazy. I'd rather have these crazy visions from God and have the courage the courage and audacity to pursue them, right? To accept the challenges, man, than to be regular, right? Regular, whatever that means. Miserable, depressed, living life, or existing just for a check, existing, looking forward to dying. I'd rather be exactly who I am. So I'm grateful, man. Day 13. We're here. We are down a little more in weight. We're 200 pounds. All right. We're almost at 199, right? Which is not my target weight, but um, yeah, I didn't like that I was so far over 200, man. I was 225 when we started this thing. And like I mentioned, the first 3 days, first 4 days from Saturday to Wednesday, we lost like 18 pounds. And then since then, it's been steady, right? It's been slow and steady. And those first 18 pounds was a lot of water weight. I ate a lot, so it was bloating. That 225 wasn't real, all right, but it was real. And so I'm glad to be now back at 200, about to be under 200 again. And the goal and this is where the discipline comes in, right? Is to never allow myself to get back to 200 pounds, right? 190 the highest, right? That is my goal. Ideal is 180, right? Between 175, 180, 185, like cool. 190 is like, okay, it's time to start dialing down, start dialing back if we ever get back up to 190 again, right? But like 190 is okay. I don't want to be more than that. I said, 200 is not terrible. It's not terrible, but that's not my ideal way. I do not feel my best at 200. I feel my best at 185, right? 180, like where 175 to 185 range is where I feel my absolute best. I feel light. I feel quick. I feel nimble. I feel fluid. I feel like I can stick and move. I feel like, you know what I mean? I'm strong. I'm fit, right? So it's a journey, man. It's a journey of fucking becoming, right? Like it's a journey of becoming, unlearning, rewiring, right? Reconditioning, deconditioning, right? And re-uploading new information, right? Casting a new vision for self, and I'm doing the work to get there. It's not overnight, all right? Even with all the fasting I've done, I have not been able to break all of the habits. I broke some habits, right? The drinking, I've been able to like gain control over the marijuana smoke. Went 6 months without weed, then smoked for like 3 days leading up to my birthday, right? Then haven't smoked since, right? Have full control over that now. And I'm proud of myself, man. And so the next thing, right, I have control over my sex, right? When I have sex, right, with my woman, like more control over that. And the next step, man, the last thing for me is really is fucking food, right? It's food and it's sleep, right? Food and it's sleep. Like when to sleep, go to sleep at the same time all the time. And it's food, right? When to eat, how much to eat. That is my biggest challenges. But we are gaining control, man, through this fast, through this 50-day fast, this 50-day hunger strike. Again, it's part personal, part deeply personal, divine discipline, but it's also like to raise awareness about the issues and atrocities going on in the world. I don't know if you guys paid attention or are paying attention, but the UN, the General Assembly, just overwhelmingly voted to name slavery, right, transatlantic slave trade, as the greatest crime, gravest crime against humanity. And 3 countries voted against it. 3 countries voted. It was a 123-3. Now, some countries abstained, right? The UK, Europe, they abstained. They was like, yo, we don't want to get involved in that. Like, but 3 voted against. Of course, Israel, Argentina, and who else? The United States of America voted against naming slavery the greatest crime in humanity, right? And yeah, it's a lot of tragedies in the world, man. Young people getting shot, right? Political corruption is at an all-time high. Police terrorism is still at an all-time high. What they're doing with ICE in the airports, what they're doing with ICE generally, but now at the airports, not paying TSA workers, but paying ICE agents to stand there, right? Like airport hold up. Somebody posted earlier, one of my homegirls, I seen her one of her posts, I think Facebook or Instagram, and it was like she had a flight at 10:45. She was at the airport at 2 o'clock. 10:45 flight at the airport at 2 o'clock because so many airports they're freaking lines taking 5 and 6 hours to get through. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane on what's going on. And now the US wants to pull back out of the war because the economy is taking a hit, right? Because the stocks is taking a hit. But now Iran is like, nah, we don't accept your freaking peace plan. We don't accept that shit. We got our demands, right? So yeah, a lot of atrocities, man. The education system is terrible, especially here in America, especially for Black and brown folks, man. We are, and really for everybody, because everybody's being conditioned, being educated to be a slave, to be a worker, right? Even cool, you get a job for somebody else, but you're not even really taught how to think. You're not taught how to think. You're not taught how to freaking transform your pain, your trauma into power. You're not taught how to regulate your nervous system. Like that shit is not taught in schools, right? And it should be, because those are the makeups of a human being, right? Just like they had home ec before, and some schools are bringing it back. They're bringing back culinary. They're bringing back certain things. But like even deeper than just learning how to do things outside of yourself, I think the education system needs to teach people how to be human and how to regulate themselves and how to assess, analyze, reflect, project, envision, right? How to discipline yourself, right? How to breathe and like all of the things. And so, yeah, humanity is fragmented. The systems are fragmented. And so part of the big part, the hunger strike part, is to raise awareness about those issues and then to also raise funds to create the solution, the World Healing System, which is a very, very solid solution. It's something that I've lived. I've lived the World Healing System, right? It's something that I've lived, something that I'm creating, I'm building, all right? So it works. Like I was able to transform my whole self, and it works. And one of the key ways that I was able to transform myself is through fasting, right? Getting more clarity, right? Become more disciplined, right? More insight, more connection to myself, to others, to the planet, to animals, to the plants, right? Even to the people who don't like me, even to the people who do things and are doing things right now to cause pain to me and people I love most. I have nothing but compassion for them, right? And that came out of fasting. And so tonight on day 13, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about spiritual traditions in fasting. We're going to get into how fasting has been always used as a tool for clarity, for discipline, for connection. Again, connection to self, deeper connection to self, connection to God, source energy, connection to your fellow humans, and connection to Earth as a whole, right? The animals, the plants, the wildlife, and all of the stuff in between. So I'm really excited to talk about this. This is something that I like to think that I do. I'm actually working on a guide, working on a book, World Healer's Guide to Fasting and Attaining Optimal Health. All right, that is my goal. My overall goal is optimal health always. My goal is, as you all know by now, to be the healthiest person on earth and the wealthiest person on earth. I want to be the healthiest person because I want to live the longest, right? And I want to be the wealthiest person because I want to give away the most money. I want to build the most things. I want to build airports and freaking airplanes, and I want to build like flying systems, and I want to build ships, and I want to build housing, and I want to build clinics, and I want to build schools, and I want to build everything that humanity needs. I want to build my own town, right? Similar to Hershey, right? I want to build my own town where people who work for the company, Continuum, Neurosoul Liberation University, the whole vibe is juicy, and everything else that we build, like they can live there. They can live there, deeply affordable rent, right? Deeply affordable rent. Houses are deeply affordable, however you want to look at it. Rent, mortgage, deeply affordable. And we don't just have the traditional healthcare. Is a town, is a community that's rooted in preventative healthcare, right? Like you eat to live, right? You eat to live, and if something does come up, it's holistic care, taking care of the whole human, because we learned that the American health system focuses on the freaking symptom, not the cause, right? And they focus on one part of the body, not what's actually causing the illness or the disease. And so we got a lot to build, man. We got a lot to build, and I don't think $50 million is not enough to build it all, but it's a start. We can do a lot with $50 million. We can at least get our 4 pilot programs, our 4 main programs, our 4 main companies off the ground, get them in motion, hire staff, hire team, put things in motion. Continuum Neurosoul Liberation University, right? We can build a university. That's our educational institution. We can build Continuum. That's our immersive technology space where people get to design their best selves, go in there, experience life as their best self, come out, and then have the team to help them, right? Which is through the whole vibe community, right? To be able to build that and continuous activations every day, multiple times a day, multiple instructors doing multiple things related to the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the social, and the financial, right? Because financial health is extremely important and it's something that's not talked about enough globally in humanity, but specifically for Black and brown folks here in America. We don't talk about financial wealth. We don't talk about financial health enough, right? And then it's Miss Juicy. Miss Juicy is going to be the daily immediate entry point. Those are the activations, juice trucks, juice carts popping up in different neighborhoods on different blocks at different times, offering fresh pressed juice, 4 ingredients or less, right? Similar to how the ice cream truck pops up in your hood, juice truck popping up in your hood, theme song, hip hop music is going to be lit, right? So like that system, right? That system right there, that's $1 billion system, right? Like really is $1 trillion system alone, right? But $50 million, we can really build that shit out in such a great way, right? Because all of it takes like it's some small fine details. And like this weekend, I'm gonna work that shit out, iron that shit out. So next week, I can show that. I can show that like this is what at $10,000, this is what Continuum is able to do. That at $8,000, this is what Juicy could do. At $15,000, this is what Neurosoul Liberation University looks like. At $25,000, this is what the whole vibe is able to do, right? Like break that shit down, so people can see it clearly, man. And just fine tune, right? But we're gonna jump right into tonight's stream. Always, actually, we're gonna start with a grounding. My apologies. Never really want to get into it without grounding. So, if you may get comfortable wherever you are, if you are laying down, get comfortable. If you are sitting down, allow your feet to be planted firmly on the floor beneath you. Allow your back to be straightened by the chair behind you. And just allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears. And just allow your breathing to settle at a steady pace. You can allow your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest. Allow your arms to rest by your side or in your lap, whichever is more comfortable for you. And allow your eyes to close ever so softly if you are safe. And just allow yourself to breathe. Remembering the ancient saying, the ancient phrase, with God, all things are possible. With your breath, as long as you have breath, you have opportunity. As long as you have opportunity, you can do all things. You can do all things. There is nothing you cannot do. So feel that energy. Feel the presence of your breath. Feel the presence of God. Feel the presence of the divine coursing through your body, keeping you alive, keeping you strong, keeping you healthy, guiding you, always guiding you and protecting you. Remembering to breathe in through your nose from your abdomen and out slowly through your nose as well. Give yourself some neck rolls. You can roll clockwise a few times, 3 to 5 clockwise neck rolls. And then reverse. Roll your neck the other way slowly. You don't need to give yourself whiplash or hurt your neck in any way. Allow your head to settle, lean forward again. Putting your hands on your thighs just to feel your body. On your hands on your thighs, touching your stomach, touching your chest area, touching your face, just feeling yourself, feeling that you are alive, you are warm, touching your neck. Oh. When you're ready, when you're finished allowing yourself to touch yourself, open your eyes slowly, wiggle your toes, move your fingers, and come back to the space. Any PPC, peace, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your presence always. But yeah, thanks for dropping in with me, man. Thanks for grounding. Let us pull up these notes, man, and let us get to the show. So once again, tonight's theme is fasting and spiritual traditions. We are talking about the discipline of the soul, the discipline of the spirit. So a lot of people, when they think about fasting, they think specifically it's about not eating. Or I can't go without food that long. I can't not eat that long a day. Somebody said the other day, they go yesterday, the workshop. Somebody said I go 4 hours without eating, I get crazy. And it's like, I hear you, and that's terrible. It's terrible, and we're gonna talk about it. Why? We're gonna talk about why we have gotten there where people, adults, feel like they cannot even go 4 hours without eating. They can't go 4 hours without food. But what if fasting is not just about not eating, but about becoming someone new? And so again, that goes to what we were talking about before, habits and identity. Who are you? And that's all what Continuum is about. Who are you? Who do you want to become? If you want to become this version of yourself, right? Most people aren't even thinking about that. They're not even thinking about the future them. They're thinking about them now, them tomorrow, maybe them next week and what they got to do, but not about who they want to become. Because my fast, 50 days, 40 days, 30 days, 14-day hunger strike, my fast and my hunger strike and all of my fasts are fueled by my desire to become the healthiest person on earth. That is what they are fueled by, a vision I have for myself, to be 100% physically fit, emotionally fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit, socially fit, and financially fit, the healthiest person on earth, to have abs and to like be able to run for 2, 3, 4 hours. I want to run a marathon at least once, right? So I know that's a couple of more hours. I want to be able to ride a bike 100 miles, right? Like some people could do more. I got goals for myself. It's not about beating other people. It's not, well, fasting may be about beating other people, because when I heard that, and we're gonna get up to the dry fasting, right? The dry fasting, the breath fast. I've done 3.5 days. We're gonna get up to at least 2 weeks, right? Because when I heard that Gandhi did 14 days of fasting, breath, it was like, okay, let's go, right? So there's some competitive nature to me, right? I do have a competitive nature. I do have a competitive edge, right? I'm Pisces, I'm Aries, and I'm freaking Leo. Of course, I got some competition in me, right? But anyway, right? Anyway, I'm getting off track. Pardon me, right? Most people think fasting is just about not eating, but it's actually about becoming someone new. It's about becoming someone new. Across time, across cultures, across religions, people have been using fasting as a tool for clarity, for discipline, and for transformation, to transform their lives, to transform their minds, to transform their hearts, right? Fast and pray. We've heard it before. I remember my aunt, like we were going through things, and I was going through things. My nephew was going through things. My brother, my sister, we were going through things, and the things we were going through was incarceration. Incarceration for all of us. For some of us, it was drug addiction. For some of us, it was alcohol addiction. It was gambling addiction. There were certain things that we were going through. And whenever it would get bad, and my aunt felt like we were close to dying, like getting killed in the streets or dying from an overdose or whatever the case may be, right? She would fast and pray. She would fast and pray. So tonight we're going into fasting, praying, right? Specifically fasting as a spiritual tradition, right? Talking about is how ancient it is, right? Ancient it is. Fasting is a spiritual practice, 100% spiritual practice. Yes, it affects your physical body, but it is 100% a spiritual practice. And again, most people think fasting is about food, but it is not about food. It is about detachment, right? Like, yes, becoming someone new, but in order to become someone new, you got to detach from the habits that you have now, from all of the things that you're doing now that are keeping you here, that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you rooted in the current moment and who you are currently, right? So fasting is about detachment. Can you detach from that which holds your attention, that which keeps you consuming, right? So it's about creating space, right? It's about creating space so you can hear yourself more clearly. What do I need to do, right? What can I do? What's the answer? What's the solution to this problem? Fast. Go a day without eating, and some fucking answers will start coming to you, right? You start hearing yourself clearly, because a lot of times when we're hearing voices in our head, or when we're hearing a voice in our head and we're hearing ourselves, it's our hunger, it's our cravings, it's our addiction that's speaking to us, right? 100%. It's our impulses that's speaking to us. I want to drop something just to frame a thought, right? Overstand, understand, and understand that when you remove something, you reveal something. So removing food, removing drugs, removing alcohol, removing sex, removing TV, removing games, removing whatever it is that you know has your attention, removing it reveals something. So me removing food and sex mainly, right? Food, sex, weed, most TV, right? I did watch a few things a few times, right? But definitely not as much as I was watching before. Definitely writing more, right? And I'm going to ramp up the writing this weekend and going into next week. In April, I'm going to write my ass off in April, because I got this guide I really want to finish by the end of this fast, this World Healers Fasting Guide. I really want to finish by the end of the fast, and at least one other book I really want to finish, so like I can really hit the ground running and get back into my publishing bag, because publishing books is incredible, right? But yeah, when you remove something, you reveal something. You reveal things you need to work on. You reveal areas where you're struggling. You reveal who's there for you, who's not there for you. My 40-day fast, right? End of the 40-day fast, my ex-girlfriend and I broke up literally 2 days before the fast was over. And we have been going back and forth. It's been break up and make up, which to me is not healthy. I don't like that shit, right? I don't like all of the breakups and makeup stuff. I understand that it happens, right? But it's not something I like to keep going back and forth. I like steady. Either we on or we not, right? Either we on or we not, right? So removing food revealed that we weren't as connected as we thought we were. There were some things that caused hindrances in communication and other areas of our relationship. And so by the end of the fast, we agreed to break up, right? It didn't work, right? So yeah, fasting, when you remove something, you reveal something. You reveal the truth about something, about yourself, about some relationships you have with some people, about something going on in the world. You remove something, you reveal something. Know that fasting is not new. Like when I tell people I'm doing this shit, they're like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's not new. People have done it. Like for centuries, people have used it for thousands of years. People have practiced fasting across cultures and traditions for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We just came off freaking Islam, and Islam during Ramadan, right? Like discipline, reflection, devotion. And Christianity is Lent, right? Sacrifice and renewal, and Buddhist traditions. It's simplicity, mindfulness, and the indigenous practices. You go on vision quest and the spiritual connection. People have been using this shit forever. And even those who wouldn't identify with any of those, people have just been fasting just because. Fast and pray, right? Intuitively, we know like abstaining from something brings forward something else, right? Like removing something reveals something. We know that as human beings intuitively. So although all those different traditions practice fasting, so different in so many ways, but the intention is the same throughout. It's about clarity, it's about discipline, and it's about connection. Again, connection to self, connection to God, source energy, connection to other people, connection to the earth, the planet, the moon, the stars, the animals, the plant life. It's about connection. So fasting has always been about more than the body. It's always been about more than the body. It's about freaking spirit, which is why when some people, one of my bros a few years ago did a 40-day fast and lost 50-something pounds, right? He's like, oh, you look so skinny. And my mother would say, you look so skinny. It's like, but I feel incredible. I'm telling you, I feel incredible. And although I may look skinny, I lost weight. I fasted for fucking 40 days. What do you think is going to happen, right? I didn't eat for 40 days. And I worked out just like I'm working out now. I worked out every day for 40 days, right? Like, what do you think is going to happen? But forget how I look. Ask me how I feel. I feel incredible. I feel strong in my body. I feel firm. I feel focused. 40-day fast, not only did my ex-girlfriend and I break up, but I met the motherfucker who owned Look Cinemas, and I was able to screen my fucking documentaries a month and some change later for free. Fasting, manifestation. You can manifest quicker. You do manifest faster when you abstain and you fast, right? So what does fasting do internally? right? What does it do inside of your body, right? Number one, autophagy. Autophagy happens after a few days where your cells start to repair themselves. That's one thing that absolutely happens. Your cells start to repair themselves, and you literally, like, your cells get stronger, right? You start to eat the fat, right? Eat the fat inside of your body, right? But you become so much stronger internally. Internal strength, especially if you get enough sunlight, you get enough water, you drinking some coconut water, right? Like, yo, like there's some moments, like right now, I feel really, really, really strong. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I feel extremely strong. And I haven't eaten in 13 days, right? So what it does internally, separate from that, things come up. Things come up. When you fast, things start to come up. The hunger comes up, of course. But we learn it's not really hunger, right? It's cravings. Cravings come up. Thoughts come up. Different thoughts come up. Like, I've been having some weird dreams. Even last night, dreamt about my uncle, right? Saw him today. I ain't seen my uncle in months, right? But dreamt about him last night. Went to Queensbridge today at the right time and saw my uncle right on 21st Street with my mom's, right? They talked to him. He started crying, right? Because I'm telling him how much I love him and miss him and been looking for him. Because I've been looking for him in real life. I'd be like, yo, where's my uncle? Calling my cousin. Yo, you see Wayne? Oh, he was just here the other day. Tell him to fucking call me, right? Like, I miss my uncle. I got some shit for him, right? Like, things come up, thoughts come up, emotions come up. I was crying the other day, right? I know that was because of the fast. Emotions come up, become a little more sensitive, right? When fasting, right? And urges come up, urges for sex, urges for, could be urge to create, right? Different urges come up when you fast, right? And you realize through the process of fasting, through the process of submitting, right? Subduing those urges, right? How much of your life is driven by impulse? How much of your life is driven by impulse? That's what you learn. That's what you realize. How much of your life is driven by impulse, impulsive thoughts, impulsive emotions and feelings, impulsive urges, eating, sex, watching something, drinking, smoking, the list goes on. Impulses. So much of our lives is driven by impulse. So fasting actually exposes your patterns. Fasting exposes your patterns. And once you see your patterns, you can start to change them. Once you see your behaviors, you see the patterns, you can, it's neural soul, right? This is what we, do you guys see how all of this is connected? Because once you see your patterns, right, you identify, you have the awareness, right? First step in neural soul liberation, right? It's fucking liberation for brain science and through a liberation lens, right? Once you see your patterns, you know, oh shit, this is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. I'm moving off impulse, right? The awareness, you're able to change it. Then you're able to regulate your nervous system. Then you're able to start instituting new behaviors, new patterns, right? Freaking, what is it? Cue, reward, action, impulse, cue, reward, cue. Oh man, I can't remember right now. My brain, I'm tired. I'm tired, right? But the whole process of cue and reward, right? You're able to recognize that and do something different. So you get a different result. Ooh, Mountain Valley spring water, lifesaver. But yeah, once you recognize your patterns, man, once you see them shits, you can start to change them. You can't change them if you don't see them. Fasting exposes your patterns. How often are you eating off impulse? Not because you're hungry, but whatever the reason, right? You're emotional. You feel like it's time to eat because a lot of us were raised that, oh, if I ain't eat by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, oh, I ain't eat yet, I need to eat. Are you hungry? You know what? Not really. So why are you eating? Oh, because it's time. Somebody asked me, I had a meeting earlier. Sister said, yeah, I heard if you don't eat for a few days, you could die. I'm like, well, that's a lie. I went 30 days before. I went 40 days before. Other people in history have gone 30 days and 40 days, and some have gone longer, right? And I'm going 50 days this time. So, like, your body can survive, right? More than what they told you. Oh, you could go only, 7 days without food, 3 days without water. You can go more than 3 days without water. They said Jesus went 40 days and 40 nights. His fast was a breath fast, right? You could do this shit. I went 3.5 days. I know I could have went 4 days. I know I could have went 5 days. I know I can go 7 and 10 days without water even. Just breath. Why? Because, like, the body is made of water, and yes, you need to replenish. And you know what else is made of water? The fucking air, oxygen. Proper breath, proper breathing. You fucking break apart those fucking oxygen particles. What's in it? Hydrogen. Able to hydrate yourself. This shit is not magic. It's science, but it seems like magic. But we are so powerful, right? So let's talk about fasting as a discipline, right? Now this is where fasting connects to every single thing we've been talking about. Just yesterday we spoke about discipline and personal growth, right? So fasting, discipline, right? Again, nervous system, learning to sit with discomfort. Discipline is doing what's hard. Doing what's hard. Fasting is fucking hard. But then you get to identity, becoming someone who follows through. So fasting is literally one of the purest forms of discipline. To be able to abstain from food, to be able to abstain from sex, to be able to abstain from scrolling social media, to be able to abstain from movies, to be able to abstain from ABC, you name it. Fasting is one of the purest forms of discipline to say, no, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that for a period of time. And when I'm done with this time, I'm going to have more control and more discipline over when or how I do that thing, whatever it is. So know that you're not just saying no to food. You're not just saying no to food, right? Discipline, right? Habits lead to identity. You're not just saying no to food. You're saying yes to who you're becoming. When you say no, when you fast and you are disciplined in that way, you're not just saying, oh, no to food. You're saying yes to who you become. Who are you becoming? Someone who is in control of their lives. Someone who is in control. Someone who does not act off impulse. Someone who has a vision and is able to follow through and stick to it, even when it's fucking hard. That's who you are becoming. That's who you are becoming. Saying no to food is saying yes to who you are becoming. When you remove something, you reveal something else. See the pattern? Like, this shit is again, it's not magic, man. Is science, right? It's proven, it's theory, right? But it's more than theory, it's practice. People have practiced this. This has been proven. I've practiced, I've proven. And so when you remove constant consumption, you create space. When you remove constant consumption, eating, drinking, smoking, distracted by movies, radio, TV, sex, shopping, right? All of the things, gambling, whatever it is, when you remove constant consumption, constantly consuming, you create space. Space to think, space to feel, space to reflect. Fasting quiets the noise. Fasting quiets the noise so you can hear what truly matters. Fasting quiets the noise so that you can hear what truly matters. Direction, purpose, what message spirit is trying to convey to you, communicate to you, because I like to think I err on the side of spirit is always communicating to you. Most of us don't hear it. Most of us don't know how to listen to it. Most of us don't know what it sounds like, what it feels like. I know that on June 2nd, 2003, the morning I got shot, 9:30 in the morning, spirit was communicating with me all day the day before. Intuition, soul, right? When we talk about neural soul. I told you guys, my stomach was starting to hurt every hour on the hour from 12 a.m. Every hour, my stomach would hurt more and more. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was eating. There was no fasting. I was in the streets. There was no fasting. I could not hear. What mattered. What mattered was take your ass home because something bad is about to happen. If you stay here and you keep engaging in this way, something bad is going to happen. And I stayed out all night, and then the next morning I went and joined the dice game, and then 2 hours later I got shot 3 times in my legs, in front of my friends, in front of my window, 9:30 in the morning, sitting on a bench on my block. And so, like, it makes me think how many people, and I mentioned this before in another platform, there's so many people who are in prison, and so many people have been killed, and they can't speak, right? But so many people in prison and have experienced near-death situations where they've been shot, right, and they survived, or something happened and they survived. Where they said their gut, they felt something in their gut. They knew they shouldn't have went outside. They knew they shouldn't have took that path home. They knew they shouldn't have got in the car that day. They knew they shouldn't have, right? But because they were mostly constantly consuming, they didn't even hear the voice. They didn't even really know what it meant, right? If they heard it at all. Right, so fasting quiets the noise so you can really hear what matters, what's going on, what's around the corner, right? Because I like to think spirit goes before you, right? Spirit aura is in front of you, is ahead of you, however much distance, right? 6 feet, I think, 6 feet, whatever it is, but spirit is ahead of you. And so, like, spirit knows what's around the corner. Spirit knows what's up the block, right? And sometimes, most times, I like to think all the time, even, I will go on a limb and say that, spirit gives you a signal. Most don't pay attention, whether it's feeling it in your gut, feeling it in your body, or something happened and there be some kind of delay and you rushing through, not even paying attention, and then boom, something happens. It's like, holy shit. Holy shit. So I want to talk about now, tie it to currently. What am I experiencing, right? What I'm experiencing right now is not just physical. This fast, we 13 days into this hunger strike, to this fast. 13 days in, this shit is not just physical. It's emotional. I cried on a couple of lives, right? I cried on a couple of shows, right? Laid in my bed and just cried and just feel. The other day I was telling my people I was feeling feelings of, and I made a post, loneliness, sadness, neglect, abandonment, rejection, right? And I know that a lot of it is not real, but that's it's an emotional experience. It's bringing up shit, right? It's bringing up shit. So it's mental, it's emotional, and it's spiritual. This fasting, what I'm experiencing right now, 13 days in, is deeply spiritual. I remember a week or so ago, 6 days in, I'm walking, about a week, maybe a little more than a week, 7 days, last Wednesday, I think, or whatever the case may be. But I'm walking and the lady's dog just comes to me, right? And like so calm and just looking at me. And I'm like, hey, you feel that God energy? All right, you feel that God energy? Shit is spiritual, man. So I want to be transparent, right? Yes, it's spiritual, it's physical, or spiritual, emotional, mental, and yes, of course, it's physical. There are moments of challenge, great moments of challenge where I'm having self-doubt. The first day, I told you guys, I'm honest, the first day I broke it on my birthday, I actually ate my birthday evening. I actually ate, right? And then I've been perfect ever since, right? But I broke it. I was supposed to not eat on my birthday at all. I went the whole day, right? From the moment I woke up, the whole day not eating, and then about 11:30, I was like, shit. Again, emotional. My children called, it brought up a lot of emotions, and then I caved and I ate, and then I said, all right, this is it for real now. And then I haven't eaten since, right? Things come up, and there are challenges, great challenges. That was a challenge. There's mental challenges, emotional challenges, mental challenges, spiritual challenges. But there are also moments of clarity where I feel extremely clear. I have felt and I feel now extremely clear on like what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and where this is taking not just me, but where this movement, right? This movement, this new world healing system to usher in a new era of humanity, where this is taking all of us, right? It's taking us to a more harmonious place. It's taking us to what we like to call heaven on earth. That is what we are striving to build for the world, heaven on earth. Everyone should experience a taste of heaven. Everyone in their lifetime, in their physical life, they should experience moments of pure bliss where there's no worry, there's no doubt, there's no fear. It's just happiness, it's joy, it's laughter, it's love, it's connection, right? So the moments of challenge and moments of clarity, that's kind of the point, right? That's kind of the point of the fast, especially the longer fast. There's challenges and there's clarity, and you find your way. You find your way through it all, right? So why does this matter today, 2026, in this world? Not just for me, but why this matters here in America, why this shit matters globally, because right now we are living in a world of constant consumption. People are constantly consuming food, alcohol, drugs, content, noise, freaking stimulation. People are constantly consuming, whatever it is, they are consuming it, right? And like, it could be something good, but as they say, too much of a good thing is still not that great, right? So like, if you're consuming, even reading all day, every day, it's like, it's too much consumption. Like, you got to allow that shit to integrate, right? You got to allow ourselves to integrate. We rarely give ourselves we rarely give ourselves space. Again, we don't give ourselves space to think. We don't give ourselves space to feel. We don't give ourselves space to be. But that's what fasting allows, for space to come, space to think, space to feel, space to be, space to process, space to integrate. And what happens without space? What happens without space? If you do not have space, you don't get no clarity. Clarity only shows up where there's space. Only comes when there's space. So you gotta fucking, like, I think everybody should do at least a 3-day fast. At least 3 days. 3 days of no food. Not only sun up to sundown. No food for 72 hours. Give yourself 72 hours to not eat. Break the patterns. Break the conditioning. Break the attachments. Detach from everything for 3 days at least that you can. If you're a parent, you may got to pick a child up from school. You clearly got to check your phone. You own a business, right? But like, the hard things, the tough things, the food, the sex, the drugs, the alcohol, the social media, the movies, right? Give yourself 3 days. I'm on social media right now. I'm on social media because that's part of my thing. I committed to every day, 9 a.m. streaming SR Daily for the rest of forever. Today was episode 592. Tomorrow's 593. I said I'm going to do 50 days of streaming here. Challenge myself, push myself. 50 days every night, 9 p.m. streaming. Nothing else matters right now. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I can't make it. I'm streaming. It all sounds like a great opportunity. I can't make it. I'm streaming. Right? Clarity. So now this doesn't mean, right? It's an invitation. This doesn't mean that everyone needs to do a 50-day fast. Because everybody does not need to do a 50-day fast. I would never say that, you got to do 50 days. No. 3 days. I think everybody should do a 3-day fast. I think every single human on earth, right, clearly of a certain age, those who are not pregnant, right, all of the things, but should do at least 3 days, 3 to 7 days, 3 to 7 days, right, fast. But separate from fasting, right, because you don't even gotta do the fast if you don't want to. I think you should. I think you should abstain. The average human, when they die, talk to morticians, talk to freaking medical examiners, have between 10 to 30 pounds of undigested, uneliminated waste in their colon. Fucking fast, detox, get that shit out of you. Literally, get the shit out of you, right? But yeah, you don't gotta fast, right? More meditation, more unplugging, unplug from the matrix, unplug from the systems, and give yourself some silence. Actually, sit in silence. Allow yourself to sit and to be, and to just breathe, and to just lay in your bed, or to just sit somewhere, to sit in the park with no music, right? And just listening to the birds, listening to the water, listening to the conversations going on around you, the children's laughter, the adults' laughter, people having conversations with their spouses on the phone, with their bosses, with their friends, with their coworkers, with their children, right? And that's outside, right? That's like no devices, that's unplugging. But then even at home, sit in silence sometimes. You don't always got to be scrolling. You don't always got to be responding to a message. You don't always got to be reading something. You can enjoy silence. Silence is absolutely necessary and beautiful and empowering. Silence is empowering. So let me ask you guys, man, what's one thing in your life you could step away from to create more clarity? What is one thing in your life, right? Please, it's 3 people tuned in, right? What is one thing in your life that you could step away from to create more clarity? I'll wait. Drop it in the comments, please. We're on YouTube. We're all on YouTube. Leave it in the comment. One thing in your life that you could step away from, right? For me, hold on. I can step away from food and entertainment to create more clarity in my life. Please let me know. Like, don't be shy. Don't be afraid, right? Like, join the discussion, man. What's one thing in your life you can step away from? What's one thing in your life you can step away from? One thing, just one thing. What is the one thing in your life you can step away from to create more clarity? Let me know. One thing in your life that you can step away from to create more clarity. For me, is food, right? And sex and weed. And I'm doing all of that right now. Stepping away from sex, stepping away from weed, stepping away from food. I stepped away from weed for 6 months. I got so much clarity. This vision, a download, came as a download during my time when I wasn't smoking weed. Right? Whoa, holy shit. It's fucking creative. It's better than anything I've ever created before, any vision I've ever had before. The vision for Neurosoul Liberation University and the method and the academy and the new field of science. We are going to ultimately create a new field of science, Neurosoul Integrated Sciences. Blending it all. Brain science, biology, chemistry, alchemy, right? Physiology, right? Like anthropology, right? We're going to blend all of the sciences, integrated sciences, all of the sciences, the science of being, the science of becoming, right? I'm writing a book, The Science of Becoming. We building all that shit, right? You said nothing now. Thank you for answering, right? So before tomorrow, what's one thing you're willing to fast from? Right? And again, not just food, social media, right? Are you too engaged in social media, right? Are you too wrapped up in negativity? Are you too distracted, right? Are you too distracted? Whether it could be whatever, distracted by your own thoughts, distracted by your emotions and your feelings, distracted by communicating with someone who, like, yeah, they're great to communicate with, but are they helping you move closer to the person you want to become? And it's okay to be like, nah, you know what, that person, like, I love them, but they're not helping me. And it is okay. Everybody don't got, like, it's different roles, right? Different people play different roles in our lives. But we got to be aware of that. And so we're spending 8 hours, 5 hours, 2 hours a day talking to somebody, and they're not helping us move closer to our goals. I think that's something that we should take a look at and examine. What's this relationship about? Like, everything, I like to think everything has to have a purpose. Everything should have a purpose. Everything does have a purpose. And if I can't name the purpose, then I need to examine that. I need to, like, look more into that. Like, what's going on here? Why am I here? Why am I dealing with this person? Why am I talking to this person? Right? And it's okay to just be like, yo, I'm talking to this person. Like, it's no agenda. It's like, I just like talking to this person. Cool. That's the purpose. You get enjoyment out of communicating with that person. That's okay. Right? So as we begin to wrap up, right? Know that fasting is not about deprivation. People, oh, you depriving yourself, you starving yourself. Fasting is not about deprivation. Fasting is about refinement. I'm refining myself. I'm becoming the person I've always wanted to be. I'm becoming the person that I see in my mind's eye. I'm becoming the person that I've always dreamed of. I'm becoming the person that my children need. I'm becoming the person that my mother needs. I'm becoming the person that my family needs. I'm becoming the person that the world needs. That's what I'm becoming. That's what I'm doing. And so it's not about deprivation. It's about refinement. So I'm refining myself. You know that when you remove what you don't need, I know that I don't need to eat every day, right? Even when I get back to eating, I know that I do not need to eat cooked food every day. I know that. I've known that for a long time. I still fall victim to it. There was times when I haven't done it, but then I still fall into the habit, right? But as I'm becoming more disciplined, gaining more strength, right? More wisdom, more clarity, I'm like, you know what? I go back to eating. I can eat once a week. One solid, nice, balanced cooked meal a week. I can survive on smoothies and fruits and fucking dry snacks and raw, right? I can do that if I want to eat, quote unquote, every day. I already instituted prior to this fast 1 day a week, right? Do my best 1 day a week. Mondays was the day when I wouldn't eat or drink anything. Where Sunday, I eat, I'll drink. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, I break fast. Right? I did that. Right? I already instituted that. So instituting new habits, new behaviors, new patterns, right? New patterns, changing patterns, so I can become the person that I've always wanted to become and the person that I want to become now, right? So when you remove what you don't need, you become who you are. You become more of who you are. When you remove what you don't need, you become more of who you are and who you've always wanted to be. And with that, guys, that is our stream for tonight. Do join us though tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be good. Tomorrow is day 14. We're talking about purpose and direction. Tomorrow we're talking about purpose and direction, man. Again, which is all of this is tied. If you don't see how all of this is strung together, man. Tomorrow's gonna be dope. Purpose and direction. I look forward to getting into it because everything I said today, everything should have a purpose. You have a purpose. Your purpose fuels your direction. What direction am I taking? Well, what's your purpose? What do you want to get out of it? Right? Sefu said. NEPP6 said unnecessary phone use. That's real. That's what you were willing to discipline yourself from. And I send you love and I send you strength that you were able to get that. And I send everyone strength, even those who didn't comment, those who didn't respond. Right? I like to think that we all have something that we could discipline ourselves from. We all have something that we could step away from a little bit to create more clarity. Right? Again, whether it's unnecessary phone use, whether it's communicating with certain people, whether it's certain thought patterns and habits, right? Whether it could be a plethora of things, right? But you know what you got to do for you. I hope you know what you got to do for you. If not, then fast so you get some clarity, right? What do you need to do to become the person that you're meant to become, the person that you want to become, the person that you are destined to become? What do you need to do now, today, to become that person? Because remember, we have a vision of who we want to become. We have a reality of who we currently are. Discipline is that bridge. Discipline is that bridge. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Join us tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we're streaming every single day during this 50 days of divine discipline, this 50-day hunger strike. And if you like what you heard, if you support this mission, if you support this vision and everything that we're building with the World Healing System, consider contributing to our campaign. Give Butter campaign. If you got $10, if you got $50, if you got $100, if you're a person that got a little bit more money, you got $1,000, contribute, because we really need to create some more things. We put one video out on AI, right? Just detailing the vision a little bit. We got a lot more things we need to create, but we cannot create it without funds. And so if you are able to, if you feel it in your heart, you feel called to, please do contribute to the campaign. You can find the campaign in my Instagram bio. You can find the campaign on my Facebook. You can message me here on YouTube, and I'll send it to you. All right. But give Butter 50 Days of Divine Discipline, 50-day hunger strike, and I'm striving to raise $50 million. A lot of freaking money. But again, when you think about really how much it costs to how much it would cost to really build a whole new system for human potential, human development, human becoming, human transformation, billions and trillions of dollars. We're saying $50 million, we could get a great jump start. We could do a lot of things for humanity with $50 million. And I'm not trying to be a 50 millionaire, right? Like, not off that. Give myself a nice salary, $100,000, $200,000 salary to do this work, and we can get this shit done. But yo, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Day 13. I'm going to finish my workout. We out, man. Peace and love. Later.